Hi, Stephen here from INEXTERIORS Painters and Decorators, and you're watching INEXTERIORS TV. In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to upcycle a chair. With that said, let's do this. The materials and tools of choice for this project is some 80 grit and 120 grit sandpaper, a selection of paint brushes, a mini foam roller, a roller tray, a dust brush, a cloth, cardboard, a multi-tool, screwdrivers, paint kettle, scissors, fabric, staple gun and staples, oil-based primer, water-based undercoat and water-based eggshell for the finish paint. If you would like to purchase some of the tools or similar tools used for this project, please check out the links in the description below. Right, this is the chair that we're going to be upcycling. So first of all, I'm going to lay it down and take the seat off. Then we give it a good thorough sand down with the 80 grit sandpaper. If you look close enough here, you can see that I basically just took that dark brown off, and you can just see that it's like, sort of like light brown now. It didn't take much sanding. What I do next is give it a good dust off, then I wipe down with a damp cloth, and then I take the sheet out and shake the sheet so there's no dust. Before I start painting, I just put the 4 feet on some cardboard. For the first coat, I'm using an oil-based primer. The reason I'm using an oil-based primer and not a water-based primer, one, I'm having a water-based finish, but two, if I was to use a water-based primer now, once I've primed it, it will look yellow in places, and because I'm using a water-based finish, that yellow will continue to show through. So what you need to do at this stage is block it. So that's why it's best to use an oil-based primer. You can also use Zinsser BIN primer sealer stain killer as well. The only difference between the oil-based primer and the Zinsser BIN is that the Zinsser BIN dries a lot quicker. After leaving it to dry for a good 24 hours, I'll give it all a good thorough sand down with the 120 grit sandpaper. What I'm doing now is undercoating it with Johnstone'S Aqua water-based undercoat. Now if I was just to put the eggshell straight onto this primer, you risk a reaction of it like fish-eyeing, and so to prevent that, I'm using this undercoat. And what this undercoat is, even though it's water based, it has all the advantages of an oil based. So it goes over the oil base nicely, which enables me to have a good base for this eggshell paint. And also I'm using the B&Q Colours range eggshell, and that doesn't have an undercoat that goes with it, and through my experience with water-based paints, you need to use a water-based undercoat because that will give maximum durability to the finish of the water-based eggshell. If you was just to put the water-based eggshell on the primer, you will just be able to run your fingernail down and it'll peel off with your fingernail, but this way it does have a lot more durability. I was hoping to paint it all in oil based, but B&Q don't seem to do their colours range in oil based anymore, and when I painted the table last year, that was in oil based, so the equivalent colour this year was in water based, so I've had to go a different way around it, and this is the best way. After giving it another light sand down with the 120 grit sandpaper, once the undercoat was dry, we then give it its first coat of grey. What I use for this is a sponge roller. It gives it a finer finish and it puts it on in thinner layers, so you might have to give it 3 thin coats to get it pure solid. If you was to get the eggshell with the equivalent undercoat from a paint trade store, then you might only have to give it 1 undercoat and 2 top coats. But because I'm using a white undercoat, because the B&Q colours range doesn't come with an undercoat, I'm having to give it 3 thin coats to achieve maximum solidarity, so it's all pure grey. I just can't stress enough how important it is to use a water-based undercoat before you use your top coat. It's just so important to the durability. There is such a huge difference. And 3 coats of paint later, this is what it looks like. Now time to cover the seat. All we do here is simply get some new fabric, cut it and staple it on. And remember, if you want to purchase some of the tools or materials used for this project, don't forget to check out the links in the description below. And there we go. That's the seat recovered. And this is the chair, fully done. And that is how we upcycle a chair. If you've got anything from this video, please like, share, subscribe. Please hit that notification bell if you want to be notified of any future videos. And please feel free to leave a comment down below. Thanks again, and thanks for watching.